All right, so welcome back to the roommate experience. I'm Nathan,
I am Ryan.
and this is going to be the conclusion episode of Washington.
Part 3 out of originally going to be a 1-part series. So here we are.
Yeah, I confidently thought that it was going to be that we could crank this out in like a half hour, but apparently we drag on way too much. Clearly,
Well, apparently we just had too many good stories to tell from the trip.
Too.
That's what it's come down to.
Yeah.
It's just too many good things, too many funny things that we want to share.
Too many things in general.
Way too many things.
So we're going to pick it up in Washington, and this last part is not Washington, Seattle. Mm-hmm. And the last part is basically going to cover the last, 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days, 2 nights. Yep.
So the place we were staying at, just bumped it, was the Hyatt, right across from the Space Needle.
Ooh, so cool.
And we were lucky enough to have the view looking out at the Space Needle.
Yeah, we paid $5 more a night just to look at the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Oh, 100%. But we showed up super early, so we didn't have any access to the parking garage. So we pull up to the side street that the parking garage is on, and we just sit there. We're like, "Hey, Bows, can you go and see if we can check in or at least get in?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." He's gone for 15 minutes.
We're just sitting there in the alley.
Yeah, we were literally just blocking this alley. And luckily no one
tried to come in.
Yeah, had to come in, and then no one left. So he comes back out and he's like, "Yeah, we got access to the garage, but we still can't get in until 2 or 3.
Yeah, whatever the normal time for hotels is.
Yeah. So get the car in there, and then we're like, "Oh, let's just go walk around." So we walked over to the Amazon headquarters, which we couldn't go in or anything, but we saw the giant glass balls they have there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos loves his balls.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. That's why I made him the headquarters.
Also, one thing that was kind of funny is they had a banana stand there.
Yeah, a banana food truck, kind of.
Literally, they only had bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get one. I kind of wish I got a banana. They must have been good bananas.
I think it was free.
They were free bananas?
I think so.
Why would they have a free banana food truck?
It's Amazon. I don't know. Because they do whatever they want. But they did have one of those, the Amazon Go store with a million cameras in there.
Oh, those are
cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
We
didn't go in there.
I really have nothing else to say about it. I looked in from the window. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Pretty neat.
Yeah, if you look up at the ceiling, there's just so many cameras and sensors and everything that I have no idea how it works. It's just blows my mind. It's fascinating.
Cool. Oh, that's all I have to say about it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we walked over to the new ice arena they have there.
Oh yeah, where the Kraken play.
What is it? Oh, the Kraken.
Kraken, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. I was kind of sad they didn't have a game when we were there, which I should have paid attention to a little more if I cared. Really didn't. But yeah, there's this cool little park that was kind of bumping, so spent a little time there.
It was pretty bumping. You had people skateboarding, families there, and everything.
Yeah, but we kind of just walked around for most of that day, and then by the time we got into the room, we had reservations at the Space Needle in the lounge, up on the viewing deck or whatever.
Yeah, so the Space Needle has it's called the Loop Lounge, Loop Lounge, something like that, and it's not the viewing deck, it's right below the viewing deck, and it's super small, maybe for 20 seats.
Yeah.
And I reserved it as soon as I could for us. The only issue is there's 5 of us, right? I can only reserve up to 4 people per group. So the issue is Nathan and I, we split it. We did 2 different reservations, 1 for 2, 1 for 3 at the sunset time. So we wanted to see the sunset up there, which is cool, worth it.
Yeah.
And I remember our only concern up until the trip happened was are we gonna be able to sit together? Because we have 2 different reservations. So every time we talked to someone on the phone or went up to the front desk, I was like, hey, we talked to someone else and they said we just sit together. Like, is that for, do you do that? So we kind of just gaslit them. We gaslit them to have us sit together.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, this is just a lesson for life. If you gaslight people enough, they'll just go with it. Just be like, oh, like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always been this way.
And something else, too, that we kind of gaslit about is they said, oh, are you here for a special event? And me, of course, said, yeah, it's a bachelor party. Like, we planned this ahead of time saying, hey, it's going to be a bachelor party for one of our friends. So then we get other stuff. And maybe that would be a reason for them to sit us together. And it worked. And it was our buddy's bachelor party. He was getting married October 22nd.
They had, like, the date and everything planned. They're like, okay, if they ask, the wedding's this weekend. It's here, and here's like all these other random details.
I was covering all my bases.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say a single word. You guys got this. I'm just gonna go with it. I don't care.
And I will say, this experience was well worth it.
Oh yeah, it's pricey to go up there.
Yeah,
but as like a big like salute send off or whatever for the trip.
Yeah,
it was definitely worth every penny.
Oh, I'm happy we did it. It was like you pay your some odd money. You can look it up if you want, but certain amount of money, and you get like specialty cocktail drinks and like a dish that complements those drinks. And it was like you basically buy it ahead of time, and when you go there, they'll have it ready for you, so you don't have to order anything while you're there.
Yeah,
right. And you can't order more while you're there. It's like you get the drinks they give you, and I kind of like that part about it.
Yeah.
And where do we go from here? Because like it was like the one Nathan and I, we got the same one. Was it the vodka one?
It was like Nitro Theory.
Yeah, Nitro Theory. So like it was like made with like what
they use like dry ice to add flair.
Yeah, it was kind of.
But all the drinks, the three of them that we got were probably the best cocktails I've ever had.
I think my favorite one out of the three drinks. We got one. It was like a cucumber cocktail drink, and that was so good.
It was refreshing. That's what it was.
Yeah,
it was awesome. But so like with like the food and everything, so two of the guys got it's like a whiskey thing,
so
and
they
then
got like gold crusted filet mignon.
Something like that.
No, it was Wagyu. It was like Wagyu samplers with 24 karat gold crusted on it.
Yeah.
It was over the top for what we deserved. But for a bachelor party, it was well worth it.
Yep. So with them saying it was a bachelor party, they're like, oh, like, okay, cool. So they gave us champagne to begin, which like I think it's a standard thing they do.
Unlimited champagne.
But they gave us we ended up having like 3 bottles of champagne.
Oh, so
and the thing is, it was good champagne.
It was
too.
really good champagne.
Like I don't typically enjoy champagne, but that stuff was good.
It was
very good.
I think it tastes better because it was free.
That too. And they just like the service was over the top, phenomenal.
It was the best service I've had.
Like our waitress was awesome. She was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the drinks were incredible. I couldn't tell you what the other ones were. I had that cucumber one. That was my favorite one.
The cucumber one, that's one that stuck with me over like the past 4 months.
Yeah. Because it was so good.
So good.
It was cucumber, sake, and she said what it was,
yeah. And so also because the bachelor party thing and everything, they gave us free like macaroon desserts.
Yeah. Right?
Macaroon, is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Yeah. And also a free dessert drink. And this dessert drink, I kid you not, it was like, it tasted like a milkshake, but it had liquor in it.
Yeah.
I don't know like anything like that, but it was so delicious. And keep in mind, at this point, we're pretty tipsy. We've had 3 bottles of champagne. We had our original 3 mixed drinks that are pretty heavy on top of the dessert drink. And this was all
didn't have that much food.
And not that much food because we got charcuterie boards.
Yeah, we got the coochie board.
Yeah, we got coochie boards.
Yeah, which they had, like the goat cheese they had with it. Insane. It was the best thing ever.
The quality of the food was so good.
Yeah.
But this all took place like you have your reservation slot. You show up when your reservation starts and you have to leave when your reservation ends. but we got the last one of the day because the sunset thing. And this was all was like an hour and a half.
It was like an hour and a half, yeah.
We had all this drinks and all this food within an hour and a half. So we were gone. They gave us free cool souvenir, like,
Water
metal bottles.
Yeah. That had, like, cool. It was like, it had, like, the Space Needle branding and everything on it. It was cool. That was, like, my keepsake from it.
Keepsake from the trip.
Yeah.
And then we were also able to go to the viewing deck up above when it was night, and we were the only people there. So they kicked everyone else out, but the people who were in the restaurant were allowed to stay a little bit later, I think.
Yeah.
So we were just only people up there, and it was just like, this is cool.
Oh, yeah.
This is so cool. We did, like, the Space Needle to ourselves. That's what it felt like. So that experience was worth it. Because it was only, like, 9 p.m. by the time we left.
Yeah. We still had, like, a full night to go out on the town or do whatever.
Yeah, because, like, we got back. And we got back to the hotel, like, 2-minute walk, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, like, we're like, okay, we're kind of hungry still because it wasn't, like, a full meal we got up there. It was just like finger foods, right? Just like a little to tie you over.
Yeah, it's kind of like appetizers, but
we were way too drunk. We were like too drunk, not enough food. We need food, so it's like we found the sports bar.
Yeah, we go to this random sports bar, and Josh and I get like beer, and then we all get food too, I think. And Ryan's like, I don't want to drink beer. We're like. Are you gonna like go out tonight? He's like, I don't know, I'm pretty tired. We're like, okay, whatever. So they end up going. So Ryan and Baus end up going back to the hotel, and then Bailey, Josh, and I are like, oh, like let's go find somewhere to, like another bar or club or whatever. We show up to this one club at it's probably like 10:30, and it's like the lobby kind of the club, because I don't think it opened at like 11. So we're just chilling there, like getting drinks, and they had giant like water pong, because it was like the buckets were like this big, and they had these like crappy plastic ping pong balls that are like this big.
Yeah.
So we're playing and getting like random people to play because we're bored. And then Josh, being Josh, goes and talks to these girls that play with us, and we're like, okay, cool. I was expecting it just to go nowhere because I did not care. But Josh, being Josh, is like, oh, like we're gonna hang out with them. And I'm like,
Nathan's okay, like, socialize.
Whatever. I'm like, I just want to listen to like good music. Club opens, we go in the club, and we're all talking and stuff. This club, since it was like right when it opened, they were doing all of the, I don't even know, it was like all the flair with like the bottle service kind of.
It was like where people hold up the signs.
Yeah, the signs, and they have like the sparklers, but
like very like Las Vegas. Hey, this is a club.
And then they had like strobe lights, but they were like the handheld ones, so they would do that and walk around. They did that like 6 or 7 times in 25 minutes.
I kind of wish I went to experience that, because I've never seen that in person. I just want to see one of those in person.
It was cool the first time, and then after that it got really annoying because they'd walk out from one hallway, and that was where we were standing like talking, and they would squeeze by you because there's one hallway.
And that's it.
And we're like, can you guys just stop, please?
Please. People stop paying for these services.
Yeah. End up on the dance floor. DJ's killing it, playing great music. Couldn't tell you what he's playing. And one of the girls goes, oh, you guys want to go to this like Latin club? And I look at Josh, and I'm like, I do not want to go to the Latin club. I'm like, this DJ just started playing really good music, and people are starting to come in here, and it's starting to like get going. And he's like, yeah, we'll go. Okay, whatever. So we walk like 2 or 3 blocks and get in, and I feel like there's a point in in the timeline where time just flew by, because I think we got to the Latin club at, I don't even know, it's probably like, it was maybe like midnight or something. But I feel like we were only in that club for like 40 minutes, and they closed.
Really?
Yeah, but we go in and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a $20 cover," and I'm like, I don't want to pay this, but I will.
Dude, you should have just put your foot down and be like, no, I'm not paying $20.
I should have done what Bailey did and just not go in.
Did he just not go in?
He didn't go in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was literally just hanging out outside.
I didn't realize that's what he did.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
he was
smart
talking to
man.
one girl the entire time.
Yeah, smart man, saving $20.
Way more worth it. Didn't get a drink at this club either, but like a Latin club, all they're doing is playing Spanish music, and I'm like, someone please say something in English. Play a song I know.
Nathan's like, play Despacito, please.
Play whatever song is at the end of Fast and Furious.
Danza Tu Duro?
Yep.
Yeah, good song.
I listened to that song in Spanish class in like high school.
No.
Yeah. That was one of the songs that we had to do for the song quizzes.
It's
It was a good one. It was fire.
It is a fire song.
That was before it like was in Fast and Furious.
Oh, really?
So it was before it blew up, I think.
Don Omar.
Yeah, so we're in there and everything, and this place is like jam packed, super hot in there, and the only saving grace for that was they had like these CO2 cannons,
Yeah.
and we were standing right in the middle where they're aiming,
Remember you telling me this?
and every like 5 or 10 minutes they would just set them off for 20 to 30 seconds, and that was the saving grace. Everything else made me want to die. But they started kicking people out at 1:30, and some point in the night, Josh and I got separated. Josh was like, I'm going to go to the front, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand here and just want to leave. So by the time that they kick people out, make our way towards the door, and then one of the girls is like, oh, like, I'm going to get like a bottle of water. Gets the bottle of water. She's like tapping her card and just keeps coming up, decline. So I'm like, I should want to go. So let me leave. So I pull my card out, tap, and I'm like, okay, let's go. It was like $8 for a bottle of water.
Bro, no. So you spent $20 you didn't want to spend, and you had to spend $8.
Dude, I
for
wanted to
water.
leave. I didn't care.
It was kind of like with that burger store. It's like, I'll pay $40 for food, so you just
Oh,
want
100%.
it.
It was early, and I wanted to go to sleep, and I stopped having fun after we left that other club. So I was like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get home. My phone's at 2%. Bailey's phone's dead. We're outside.
And keep in mind, you're in a city that like you aren't from. You don't know. And you
Yeah.
have to find your hotel where you
Yeah.
have no service.
So the thing is, we had to wait for Josh outside, and I text him with like 2% left, not remembering that he turned his phone off earlier in the night because he was at 5% at like midnight. I'm like, oh, like hopefully he gets this. I think it went to his watch. That's the only reason he knew. So he comes outside, and we're walking back to our hotel. I'm like, well, my phone's dead. Bailey's like, oh, I have 1%. Josh is like, my phone's off. And I'm like, how do we get back? And we're like, oh, Space Needle's right there. So we literally just walked to the Space Needle and then found our hotel.
I will say that was the good thing about staying right next to the Space
Smart.
Needle.
It was very smart.
If you get lost, just find the Space Needle.
So that walk itself, realistically, was probably 25 minutes to like a half hour, or probably like 20, 25 minutes. I feel like we teleported because I don't remember any of the walk.
Nathan just blacked out for the walk. The best time.
No,
to
I can
black
tell you
out.
I didn't black out. I just remember going way faster than it did. Then I guess it should have.
And then you got back. Was it like 2 or 3?
Yeah, we got back at like 2, and walk in. I'm very drunk. And I go, wake up, fuckers! And Baus is sleeping. Baus looks up, turns over, looks up, and then goes back to sleep. And I just see Ryan walk out from the bathroom. Just like, he just looks defeated.
Yeah, during their whole adventure out, the reason why I don't want to go out is my stomach was so like, it was like turning, it was like churning, because like I don't know what it was. I think it was just a combination of all the drinks and all the food we had at the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Where my stomach was not having it, and I was in and out of the bathroom, I think till like 5 a.m. It was rough. I really wish I could have gone out, but my night was not as eventful as yours. Or I guess you could say as eventful, just not as fun.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, so we wake up the next morning and Josh and I are talking about the night, and he's like, yeah, the girl I was talking to, she's like, yeah, she was like a 9. She was a solid 9. And in my head, I'm like, dude, you're shooting way too high. And I look at him deadpan. I go, what do you mean? She was like a 7. And he's like, no. He goes, takes a shower, like, comes back out, and he goes, no, you're right. She was a 7. And I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about?
He had to take a shower to clean up to go through his life choices.
Had to contemplate his decisions. But we
what a good first night, though.
That was great. So we had the hotel room for like the one day. So we technically we checked out, but we left the car there all day because where else where were we gonna put it?
Yeah.
I was having a stroke there. That was bad. What? Oh, no, I'm Walter Jr.
No.
Dude, he's such a good actor.
He is such a good actor.
Yeah.
Great actor.
But they had complimentary breakfast that absolutely slapped. I was very happy.
I thought it was mid. For the only reason it was really busy.
Yeah, there were just way too many people.
Two people, not enough place to sit.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue. The food itself was I was happy with.
Food was good.
Yeah. And so last day we were there, we did a walking coffee tour, which was pretty cool. The coffee we had was phenomenal. My
favorite one.
Yeah.
There was like this, it was a second place we went to, and it was like, they were all mushroom infused.
Yeah.
Like not like hallucinogenic mushrooms, but like, I don't know, what's a normal mushroom?
Just a mushroom.
Just a mushroom, I guess. I don't know. But it was like no artificial sweeteners. It was just all natural sugars from the mushrooms. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like mushrooms, but that coffee was amazing. I would definitely like drink that coffee again.
Yeah. Part of me wanted to go back there and just get coffee later that day, but I did not remember where we were.
And it was a long walk.
That too. So the coffee tour was really, really cool. Would definitely recommend it.
We went to the Starbucks roastery.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
That was very, very busy.
It was, shit. Yeah, didn't get coffee there because it was so busy.
Yeah. But after the walking tour, we were like, oh, look, let's go see. Was it you who wanted to see the library?
Yeah, yeah, it was like is it Seattle Library?
Yeah, the public library, I'm assuming.
Seattle Public Library. Because it's architecturally, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So it's going to be like photos there.
Here. There's like some cool red rooms and
yeah. One of the film photos I got of the red room was pretty cool.
Interesting.
I'll show you that later.
I have not seen the film photos yet.
I showed Jackie yesterday. That's what it was. But went and checked the library out and then walked to what is it called?
It's
just a fish market. Yeah,
Fish
I don't
market?
know what the official name is.
I can't remember that right now either. That was cool walking.
Yeah, it was cool to see because I've just seen a lot of pictures of it, but
overrated.
Yeah, it's very touristy.
It's like a mall but more cramped.
Yeah, there's so many people there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then we just walked around the city. Like, it wasn't really that crazy today.
I think I looked at my phone, like after the fact, and we walked more that day than we did any of the days we were hiking. So I think we ended up walking like 20 miles. Yeah,
that day, like we walked up and down the city like twice because it was something we wanted to see something. So we walked back. We walked all the way back down south, then we went all the way back up north to go to our hotel. But I remember, so really nothing else crazy happened, I don't think, during the day.
No.
We went to the roastery again at night.
Yeah.
Right? Because we were like, hey, let's actually get coffee there because it's cool. It's like the first Starbucks and we got liquor infused coffee.
Yeah,
Right?
they have like a full
martinis?
bar basically.
We got like martini
Yeah, is there like
Flights?
martini thing?
martini flight, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
it was
good.
pretty good. It was expensive, but it was good. And the whole thing, like, we had a early morning flight the next day, so we were like, okay, well, we're not just gonna go to the airport like right away and sit there for 12 hours. So we were kind of trying to figure stuff out to kill the night.
Yeah, because we decided, hey, it's not worth it to get the hotel for a second night in a row.
Yeah.
Because we'd be sleeping there for like 3-4 hours. We're like,
Yeah.
we're not paying $300 or whatever it was. For
Yeah. By the time we
that night.
get up and like return the rental car and everything, it just wasn't worth it. So then I was like, okay, you guys can like go buck wild and drink or do whatever. I'm not going to drink really because I'm the one who needs to drive the car.
And you already had a wild night the night before.
That too. I was like, I'm never drinking again. Haven't drank since.
Yeah, true. What's that in your hand over there? It's full of beer, I know it.
It's vinegar.
Vinegar? Oh,
Yeah.
yummy. So, yeah, after the roastery, we only went to, like, one bar. I liked this bar.
Yeah, it was cool.
It
It
was
was the setting itself was
Cool vibe,
weird.
cool atmosphere. It was like a mortuary.
Yeah.
It was like an old mortuary that turned into a punt bar that, like, sold pizza.
Yeah.
And the
Dude,
pizza,
their pizza was
good.
awesome. I was so happy with it.
Yeah, you got your own pizza. I
Yeah,
split a
they're-
pizza. I'm upset I split a pizza. I wish I
Yeah.
had my own.
I'm like, 'cause-
Dude,
know.
you ate the whole thing by
oh, I ate the whole
yourself.
thing easily. I could have had more and been a little more full, but yeah, no, the pizza was very, very good. But then after we went there, I was like, okay, you guys want to go like somewhere else too now? Like find another bar or something? And they're like, no, we can just go.
Yeah, just we're like, it was a long week. It was a busy week. We're
Yeah,
just
well,
exhausted.
the fact that we walked so much that day already,
I
like
think killed us.
we were all, you guys were all pretty tired.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My
I was a
legs
little
were
tired, but yeah. So then we got back to the car, and
Mhm.
it was still pretty warm out in Seattle. Still probably like 70 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it like midnight. It was warm.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So I didn't really like. I knew I wanted to change before the flight and put something like warmer on because
Michigan's
you're coming
not-
back to Michigan and it's probably gonna be a little cooler, and the planes are usually pretty cold too. And I'm like, okay, well, like I don't want to change in the parking garage because that's kind of weird. So I was like, okay, I'll wait until we get to the airport and then find like a room to change there. Find like in the bathroom. Drop the car off and everything, no issues. Get to the airport. By the time we get to the airport, it was
I think it was
almost midnight.
I
Yeah.
think it was like midnight after we went through security.
Yeah. So we're going and we find the gate find where we can check our bags. And I look around and I'm like, I don't see a single bathroom like in this terminal before security. Didn't end up changing. I'm wearing shorts and like the lightest sweatshirt I have.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know. It's like that thin.
It's
like
like
athletic,
this thin.
It's like this thin.
So thin.
That's pretty thick.
Oh, in this, we're getting to the part of the story where we mentioned we thought we were gonna die. This is the
this is
the introduction
ending.
to this story.
Yeah.
We're getting to this point.
So I don't end up changing into jeans and a sweatshirt. I'm still wearing the lightest clothes I have. And first of all, I check my bag, no issue. Josh is checking his bag at like the guy next to me, and he's like, it's taking a long time, like unnecessarily long. He comes over and he goes, yeah, they almost didn't let me check my bag. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, so apparently they're not supposed to check bags this early. I'm like, it's not that early. Like, what? You want everyone to show up at 3 a.m. to You're like, people get to the airport early.
Yeah, it
What
would
do you
just be
mean?
like 3 hours later when you would normally check your bag.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we're just gonna try to sleep in the airport and just wait and get more sleep probably at the airport than
Yeah.
we would at a hotel room. That's what we thought.
And this guy's just like giving him a bunch of crap. He's like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, well, my friends already did. And the guy looks over to like the two women that checked Bailey and I in. And he goes, oh, did you let him check the bags? She's like, yeah, like why? And he's like, oh, you shouldn't have. And he just ends up letting him check. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Just do your job.
Just check the bag.
Just check it. It's fine. I swear. Get through security and everything. We're Gucci. It's all good. And then we just go find our gate. This gate was like the coldest gate there's ever been. It started to like cool off a little bit at this point. So I'm like, okay, like it should be consistent. Like you're not going to be like, running the air or anything. It's not like it's hot out.
Yeah.
They were running the air all night.
It was so frigid cold.
I think that terminal or just where we were, I think it was like 60 degrees there.
Yeah, it was 60 degrees, and then if you walked outside the terminal, it was like normal.
Yeah.
But like in our terminal, like we tried to keep warm with anything we had on us. Like
I had nothing.
Nathan had nothing. I had like a sweatshirt I was using as like a pillow / no, I was using my backpack as a pillow. I was using my sweatshirt as a blanket. And I don't think I slept at all that night. This is where we thought we were going to die. It's like I was shivering, laying on a rough, hard ground at this airport because also their airport chairs there, you can't sleep on. Those
so
things
bad.
are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they're like spaced, like each seat spaced so far apart that you can't lay across them.
Well, they also have the arms too that come down.
Yeah, they have the arms that come down.
You can't move. So, Josh, Bailey, and Baus, they figure out a way to sleep somehow.
I don't know.
Ryan's like trying to sleep, like at least making an attempt to, and I think he slept for like a little bit, but like it was probably like really shitty sleep.
I think so. Maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
If that. Like
I tried for like 20 minutes to fall asleep. Couldn't. I'm also freezing my ass off. And I don't think I've ever shivered so much in like such a short span of time.
dude, if I ever applied to be on Survivor, this will be a story I'll tell. This trained me to be on Survivor.
What's a moment where you thought you were pushed to the brink of death? Oh, I was in the airport. And
Airport.
so I get up and I can't sleep. I'm freezing. I can't do anything. No place is open either because it's 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I got up like 4 or 5 times to just go and walk.
Get your blood pumping.
Yeah, to try and warm up a little bit. And it half worked. But also I would come back and I'd sit back down and start freezing again. It was the worst night I've ever had like that.
I think it's up there too for one of the worst nights I've had.
You
In terms of sleep, like it was just miserable. Like there's some nights where you just can't sleep. That sucks. But this is like you can't sleep because you're so cold.
Yeah.
And your body just like is so tired, but it's like you can't do anything with it. It was just miserable. But our flight came at 6.
Yeah.
And it was
So it got so bad
all good things from there.
that night that I walked past one of the gift shops that opened up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and I thought about buying one of those like awful looking Seattle like hoodies they have that are like
Just
probably
to
like
warm
$60. Yeah. I thought about it for a good like hour, and I'm like, no.
At that
There's
point,
no
there's
need.
at
There's
that
no
point, there's no
need.
need. Ooh, but the flight back, sleeping on the plane, I was cashed out, dude.
I think I slept for like an hour, and then they came around with snacks, and then Josh bumped my arm, and I looked up and I just shook my head no, And Josh is like, oh, he'll take one of them. And he got me like one of like the Cliff Bar things, I think.
Oh, those are good. I really like the small dense Cliff Bars.
It was like lemon flavored, but
What?
at that point it was pretty good.
At that point, it's like I need food.
Yeah, I was pretty hungry and also
Pretty
just
hungry,
wanted to
dude. You ate a
sleep.
whole pizza at like 10 p.m. the night before.
And apparently I didn't eat enough because my body was starting to shut down in the airport.
you burned it all off to keep warm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was running on like an hour of sleep that next day.
I think I was running
I
on
wanna
like an hour
die.
of sleep for the last 2 days, like combined.
Yeah.
It was the last few days was like my body was in rough shape.
Yeah,
I will say overall though, that trip was fun. That was a
no,
fun
it was
trip.
it was awesome. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
I do again. Feel like I
I
want
would
to go
change
somewhere
stuff
else.
up.
Well, go a different place probably.
Yeah,
Different city. Go like
yeah,
Nevada or no, probably not Nevada.
No.
Idaho.
yeah, Montana area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Seattle airport sucks.
Yeah.
Seattle airport, you can suck my butt.
Unless you want to sponsor us, that'd be cool.
No,
us some money?
I don't want it.
Nah, suck both our butts.
Yeah, no, you're literally the worst. Yeah, I do not recommend
Staying
staying
overnight.
in an airport for
Overnight.
extended periods of time.
Well, especially Seattle one. If you do it somewhere warm like Texas or something.
or one with like a
Seattle.
cool lounge that you can get into.
That too.
Yeah,
We did not get into one.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even check. I don't think they had any though.
No, let's just don't check.
I'm pretty sure they
Don't check
didn't.
because we'll feel bad if they do have one.
I think it was too late too. I don't think they would have been
Yeah, well,
accepting
because
people.
by the time we got there, it was like midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the end of Washington. If you watched all 3 parts, thank you.
Props to you.
If you didn't, go watch them, and maybe some of it will make a little more sense. If not, I think standalone they can probably
I feel like they hold on their own. It's just like
Yeah.
different stories.
basically. But yeah, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks for another episode.
Yeah.
We mean it this time.
Yeah, we'll actually try. No, this setup actually worked though, because I hope it's not too echoey. If there is any, I don't think there is.
If there is, I'm gonna be sad. But if it is, there's what else can you do? So, like, comment, and subscribe so it gets us in the algorithm. And
It's all about the algorithm.
It's all, dude. It is all about the algorithm.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's what it boils down to.
All right. We'll see ya.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.